I am very pleased today to introduce Erika Black. Welcome, Erika.
Thank you, Carla.
And Erika is a life coach.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are listening that are saying, well, exactly what is a life coach and what do they do? So my first question to you, Erika, is what is a life coach?
Okay. I know that's a common question. It's kind of just what it sounds like. Think of a football coach. What does a football coach do? They take a team, they take individual players, whatever their position is, and help them to play better. And then, work as a team as well. So that's kind of what I do with groups and individuals. When people come to me, we clearly assess where they're at. Then we take where they want to go and get a clear picture of that. Sometimes they don't know exactly what they want to do. And so then, I have tools and, some things to help them discern it. Once we discern exactly where they want to go, we know where they're at, we develop a plan to get them there, and then I help keep them on track.
Okay, well, that sounds very interesting. And this isn't a new concept. This has been around for a while.
Absolutely.
And, I'm thinking, well, maybe I need a life coach, maybe I don't. I mean, who actually would utilize your services? You said groups and individuals.
Sure.
And I've only been exposed to people that do it on an individual level. Mm-hmm. So maybe you can kind of highlight what kind of a group, what kind of an individual might need your services?
Well, I think we all could benefit from a coach at least at some point in our lives.
I agree.
Anyway, in fact, my mentor, John Spencer Ellis of the Spencer Institute, he has a life coach, and he says we all need life coaches, and certainly, I have someone who mentors me. And so, anyone that wants to achieve a goal or make a change can benefit from coaching, certainly. And groups, I do seminars, even lunch and learns. So,
okay.
Sometimes, businesses will want to add value to their employees,
mm-hmm.
and they'll bring someone in during lunch and provide lunch for their employees, and maybe we'll deal with how to manage stress, which is huge,
That's
right?
great, yes, absolutely.
Or how team building, how to work better together and things like that.
That's great. I didn't even, think of that concept. And you don't make decisions for people. You help to lead them
mm-hmm.
with specific criteria that you...
Right. I provide tools and maybe suggestions, but, they're only suggestions. I just help to guide them into their own decision-making process, what they actually want to do, what they're comfortable with. And, this is the way I feel. Of course, it costs money to come to see me.
Sure.
But I would love to give it away. I'm so passionate for people. I have this heart. But I think that when you put a monetary value, when people actually put the money behind their process and they go, okay, I'm going to make a change and I'm going to put my money toward it because I'm serious. I think that really adds value to their process in their own minds.
Sure. And if they believe in themselves and
Absolutely.
they feel that they're worth it, it's an investment in you and in your future as well.
Absolutely.
And you may not have, I may feel that there's something out there that I have a burning desire to do, but I just don't know what it is.
Yes.
But you can help me reach that.
Absolutely.
That goal, that decision, and give me an idea of maybe I'm better suited for this mm-hmm. career path as opposed to the one I'm currently on, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
It's very exciting, to see people move in positive directions.
Yeah. Or you might find that you're perfectly suited for what you're doing, just how can I do it better and be happier in what I'm doing currently?
Exactly. Make a few changes, a little tweak here and there, makes a big difference sometimes.
And it's not just in my business life, right? You can help me in my personal life as well.
I specialize in relationships and personal development. So working with parents, I have a son who's amazing, and he was ADD, so I have a whole life experience, real life experience, and then life coaching tools, to help parents. But I really, that's a big heart of mine, the elderly, children. I have a huge heart for kids. They're literally our future. It's not just a nice song, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
So even relationships too. I do relationship counseling and family coaching and stuff like that.
Wonderful. Well, before we get too further ahead, why don't you give some contact information now so that we don't forget that piece of it?
Absolutely. Okay. Email, youcanpullittogether@gmail.com. My website is youcanpullittogether.com. Also, my cell phone is actually the best way to get a hold of me. It's 513-646-0767. And I'm also on Facebook, and I try to post something every day.
Okay.
I don't always post every day, but it's facebook.com/pullittogether.
All right. A lot of ways to communicate with people these days, right?
Absolutely.
No excuse for not knowing where I am and who I am.
And I tweet.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
What kind of led you to this coaching career?
Okay. Well, I'm from Cincinnati. Go Bengals, go Reds. I say with pride, right? And I'm divorced, and I have one wonderful child, a son, and he is married to my beautiful daughter-in-law. They just had a baby boy in May, so I have a lovely grandson as well, and they're my pride and joy for sure. My job moved me here in 2007. 2 days before I closed on my house, I got laid off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of a common theme, isn't it, with people these days?
I know. And so then I went to work for an individual recruiter, and I was recruiting for civil engineers, which I didn't really like recruiting. It wasn't really my forte, but, I was doing the job, and he actually still owes me $5,500. So when that whole thing fell apart, I started thinking, I really do not believe that it's God's will that I work so hard at something I hate so much just to keep these financial plates spinning. So I started talking to people and brainstorming, my people, and thinking, what am I good at? What are my gifts and talents? And so from that, I came to coaching because I had been leading recovery groups and also women's groups and a course called the Alpha Course at my big church up in Cincinnati. And so I had years of all this, real encouraging and facilitating and working with people. And so we came up with life coaching. And so I went to the Spencer Institute and got my certification. And
so you kind of put yourself through that same process.
Exactly.
That you kind of help people with when they come to you for services.
I have a whole bunch of life experience to draw from, Carla.
Yeah. Well, that's important because people, if I've been there, done that,
yes.
I put more stock in your ability to make recommendations based on your personal experience.
Absolutely.
I know education helps a lot, but sometimes if you can be empathetic about a situation, it really helps that individual make that connection with you. So if I'm a first-time life coach user, what can I expect the first time I call you or come to see you?
Okay, well, we'll talk a little bit about where you are and where you want to go. Basically, who are you? I'll kind of get an idea by talking with you about what's your strengths, but you can tell me, what do you think are your strengths? Mm-hmm. Or what's your issue that you want to deal with? What kind of change do you want to make in your life?
Okay.
What goal do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? And if you don't know, we'll try to discern that, mm-hmm. right? And it's a process.
Sure.
Because first things first.
And obviously you help them with a timeline,
Oh, yeah.
That's big.
It's a smart measure. It's a smart thing. So it's measurable and achievable, realistic, and timed, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's good. I mean, that's something we all can utilize in our daily lives.
Absolutely.
And we all have to have goals. I mean, if you don't have a goal, really, it's like if you don't know where you're going, you're lost before you get there.
Well, yeah. You're just existing. And
sure.
And I don't think that people can really have joy in their lives if they're just going through the motions every day. And I want people to be happy. I want people to be doing things that are adding value to not only themselves, but to other people,
sure.
Because that's where fulfillment really comes from.
And that's paying it forward. That's passing on that joy and that energy that people are drawn to, like a moth to a flame.
Absolutely.
Right? And I totally agree with that. Because it takes a tremendous amount of energy to be successful at something you don't like to do.
Yes.
Wouldn't you agree with that?
Well, I don't think it's what people don't want to do, but I think people don't think that they can.
That's true.
I think that people get overwhelmed and they stop. I got a fortune cookie one time, and it said, "Don't stop before the miracle. One always stops before the miracle
right.
happens."
Mm-hmm. That's a great analogy. I love that.
Yeah.
So, you have some heroes in your life. Who are your favorite heroes?
My favorite heroes. Easy. I've got 3 that I'm going to share with you. Number 1 is Jesus.
Okay.
Because I think that he embodied mercy and grace better than anyone that's ever been on the planet. And also the willingness to do what needed to be done, and a strength of character that's unequaled. So first and foremost, Jesus, and then Martin Luther King Jr. I get all choked up when I hear the "I Have a Dream" speech every single time. And I'm a musician, right? So I sing and play bass and keyboards and guitar and stuff like that. But anyway, U2 is my favorite band, and so they have that song Pride. And in Pride, they reference Martin Luther King. They say, "Early morning, April 4, a shot rings out in the Memphis sky. Free at last, they took your life, they could not take your pride." And that line gets me every time. And then my third hero that I'm going to share, and there's so many really, I have a few people that I really look up to, but is my son Dom. He is, he's so unique. He's always free to be himself. He's got such a strength of character. He's such a good man. And I just, he's so different, from anybody else, and just so wonderful. I'm extremely, he's not perfect, I know him very well, right? Something about socks, Dom, if you're listening,
Yeah, take the hint.
I know, right? But yes, if I had anything to do with that, I'm extremely proud, and I'll just tell you, I prayed a whole lot.
Well, I can identify with that, because that does definitely help. But
yeah.
For those of you that are listening, this is the first time I've met Erika, but I have to tell you that she's just got this wonderful joy and happiness about her. I can just feel that she'd be an excellent person to interact with and to trust your future or your current status with, whatever. I just get a feeling that she really cares about people and having them be successful ahead of any personal agenda. So just my take on our first meeting today.
Thank you,
and
Carla.
I think I wish you well with your business. Welcome to the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you so much.
You couldn't have picked a better business in the community to partner with.
Oh, I know. The chamber's amazing.
Great opportunities to promote yourself and
Right.
to network with people. So thank you for your membership. And one more time, why don't you give your contact information?
Sure. Erika Black, Pull It Together. You can pull it together at gmail.com. Cell phone 513-646-0767. Find me on Facebook, Pull It Together, and my website's youcanpullittogether.com, and you can pull it together.
Okay, so you heard it here first, folks. Thank you so much, Erika. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Carla.
And I
Likewise.
wish you all the success and happiness in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much. It was great being here.
Thank you.